The third round is in full swing and the action increases from game to game. This is where the contenders are separated from the pretenders. To give you some skin in the game, DraftKings will be offering free-to-play pools every day of the basketball playoffs, offering players a free shot at up to $10,000 in total prizes. That's up to $10,000 in total prizes up for grabs each day. And the best part is, it's free to play. DraftKings free-to-play pools are easy to enter. Just download the DraftKings app, go to pools, and choose from a wide variety of free contests for an opportunity to win cash prizes. All you have to do is answer a handful of questions about what you think is going to happen during the day's basketball games and track your results throughout the evening. Questions will range from which team will hit the most threes to which team will score first. DraftKings is safe and secure and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use the promo code THPN when you sign up to get your free shot at up to $10,000 in total prizes every day of the basketball playoffs. Head to the DraftKings pool page to get your shot at huge cash prizes. That's promo code THPN for a limited time, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. Please see DraftKings.com for details.
You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom. It's Tanner. I don't know why I was talking like this in the intro, but all right, we're here. We're there. Let's go.
Let's get it going. It's Tuesday, baby. Let's go.
It's Tuesday. We're recording late because, we're just lazy. No, we had stuff come up and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, we're here. We got lots to talk about. Rumor season, baby.
That's right. It's off season for everyone but 4 teams.
Yeah. So, the crazies are coming out. And, yes, I'm saying this now because there's one that we're going to talk about. And I think you are goddamn mental if you even consider this a possible option for the Blackhawks. But yeah, so you want to get right into it?
Let's get into it.
All right. So rumor season's here. The Hawks are being connected with some big time names. The first one being Seth Jones, which I got to give ourselves a pat on the back. We pretty much called that package.
Yeah.
I'm definitely saying Connor Murphy's worth a second round pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor Murphy or like DeHaan or whatever.
Yeah, definitely worth a second round pick. So it came out that the price for the Hawks to land Seth Jones was going to be the this year's 11th overall pick, Adam Boqvist, and a second round pick. We said Connor Murphy, Boqvist, and I said this year's pick. You said I think last year's or next year's.
I said this one.
Did we say okay? I think we fell on that one. Okay, but yeah, so pretty damn close to what we were talking about, and I still think that's a steal.
Yeah, I mean, it would hopefully come with like him signed longer term
Guarantee, yeah.
Like not just like 1 year of Seth Jones and then see you later, like Matt Duchene style.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to Nashville and pluck a guitar and
see. That would be the only issue with giving the first round pick for this year, because it's like if you get said, okay, next year's first round pick, you can be like, okay, it's a conditional pick. If he signs,
it could be you can't figure that out because it would have to be before the draft. You'd have to sign.
No, yeah, that's why that's the downside of it being this year's pick. If it was next year's, you can throw that condition on there.
True.
But then you're also losing Boqvist possibly for a year of Seth Jones.
Yeah, and it's weird because like at the time right now, it's like I'd rather give up on Boqvist than Mitchell. Yeah. But then you also take a step back and you go, okay, yeah, Boqvist is only like 20 years old. Mitchell's 22, 20 or 23 or something like that. Like Boqvist has plenty of time to become like really, really good still. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like everybody's feelings on Boqvist has been like they thought that he was going to be, or plus me too, like just thought that he was going to be some sort of offensive dynamo. But then you got to realize like he's still only 20. Like he's not a big fucking guy. Like he's shown spurts of really good offensive skills, which is great. But everybody is expecting him to be like 27-year-old fucking Duncan Keith out here. Like, no, that's not it. So I don't
know if the word hate is the right, but like the hate or like, you know, the down talk that Boquist gets is just
The
completely,
immediate like bust
yeah,
label.
it's
Like,
unjust. It is completely unjust. The thing that, sorry, holy shit. Problem that he's got going against him is that he was a top 10 draft pick. And
yeah, but that's everybody sees all these top 10 draft picks like come out and then like they do great. Like, but it's only like 1 or 2 picks, and then everybody else is like, well, I mean, those other 8 guys aren't those guys, so they're definitely busts. But it's like they're all still like less than 22 years old. Like, it's not, the NHL is like getting younger, but like a lot of these players still need more time. Like,
you gotta figure too where they're coming from, like what league. You have to look at what league they're coming from, what style of hockey's played in that league. You know, if you're coming from overseas, it's a completely different style than the NHL.
right. And then how is he being utilized on the Hawks too? Like, there's no way to like get him like sheltered minutes because the team's not great defensively. So you either don't have him out there and only have him out there in like the power play, and he doesn't really learn anything. But like, who's he learning from? Duncan Keith, who's out there all the time.
Right.
Just like you just have him watch him. But
that's the issue too, is like I don't think it's fair to Boquist's development too that he's kind of getting his minutes cut down because of Keith. Because when anything goes wrong and whenever there's like a nervous moment, the default move is Keith, get out there, just eat up minutes, go.
right. And plus, like, this season wasn't hopeful because of how successful they were. Like, he wasn't really allowed to make mistakes as much because it's like, oh, well, we're actually showing success. So like, if you do make a mistake, we're going to bench you.
Yeah.
Or we're going to sit you. We're going to scratch you. Like, we have other guys that'll come out here and help us win. But it's like, that wasn't the point of this season. It wasn't to win. It was to get the young guys ice time. And then there was times where we just didn't do that like, because we were winning. And it's weird to like say winning is the problem with this team.
Went from let's see what we got in our depth situation to, oh shit, we're good, we're decent,
Yeah.
let's go, let's pedal to the metal, let's win this shit. And I think it did hurt. I mean, it worked for a lot for like Hagel and Wyatt and all those guys. Like, I think they got a lot more experience in ice time that they would have gotten if this was just a crap team in general. But
right, that's rough.
So I would hate to see, like, I'm torn on that. Like, I think it's a fair price for Seth Jones with that. I would hate to see Boquist go, but also getting in Seth Jones, it's like, okay, we do got Mitchell, we do got all these other guys in the pipe coming up, kind of thing. It's like, it's a subtraction, was it addition by subtraction type of thing? Like,
no,
because you're losing. No,
I don't think we're getting better by losing somebody there. Like, that would be like Zach Smith's contract is coming off the books. That's addition by subtraction. Like, we're getting cap space because we're losing that dead cap. Sip your beer and just think about this. Yeah, I think it'll be great. Like, having Seth Jones will be good. Apparently, he's coming off. I'm just big on Seth Jones, but I didn't follow him. But I guess he was coming off like a not so great year, which awesome. If your trade value is lower, like, sounds good. I'll still take Seth Jones over any of our defensemen on our team right now.
It's so funny when you Google Seth Jones. Oh, the trade situation for Toronto Maple Leafs to land Seth Jones, for Buffalo to land Seth Jones, for blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's so funny that shows how good this guy is that everybody's like, okay, how can my team get him?
Yeah. And then there's people that are like the haters that are like, no, we should never get Seth Jones. It's like, he is immediately better than everybody on our team defensively.
He had a down year. So this past season, 56 games played, and must play the entire season. He's been lucky because I think he was hurt the year before, and like the last 2 seasons before that, I think he had some injury issues. 5 goals, 23 assists for 28 points. It was a minus 18, but when you look at why people are saying that he wasn't looking good, look at the team he was playing on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can only do so much, you know, like for yourself, especially a defenseman. Like,
well, the team just, like, their big guy, like Pierre-Luc Dubois, just gave up on the team before this, like in the beginning of the season. Then they traded for Patrick Laine, who's not going to be, he just didn't fit with Tortorella. He's not a gritty defensive kind of guy. He's an offensive gamer. And like, I don't know. like the team just fell apart this year. Like everybody thought they were going to be the same as last year, but last year was just kind of like they willed themselves into a playoff spot,
At a
and
point.
then just like did the Tortorella thing of just playing great defensively, and just got to face Toronto, who can't win a playoff series no matter how short it is.
He played 20. His total on ice or time on ice was 25 minutes and 14 seconds for the average for last season. He played almost a half a game average.
Yeah, too, and that's the thing. If you're going to play almost half the game, and your team's not good, like you're going to end up probably a minus.
Yeah.
Like they finished below. What did they tie, or they finished below Detroit?
They finished below.
I think that they had the same amount of points. Fucking where the hell? There we go. Standings.
Yeah, they hide it now because of the playoffs.
They finished with the same amount of points. They had the same win percentage. Detroit was 19, 27, and 10, and Columbus was 18, 26, and 12.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that every year he's talked like at least the last 3 years about being in the running for a Norris.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that conversation if you're a shit defenseman.
Right, and it's not just like 1 year that he had that kind of talks. Like it's consistent buildup of like he's going to be a Norris defenseman, and then now he has a down year, and everybody's like, "Oh, we don't want him."
He finished in 2017-2018 season. He finished 4th in the Norris voting.
Yeah, we should get a guy like that. That means he's good,
and he's doing that when he's not a point guy. Like, yeah, he had 57 points there where he finished 4th, but you know, the way like how we talk about how it's going.
Well, that team also had like Panarin, and
right?
Duchesne,
but you're talking about the Norris Award that's essentially going to offensive defenseman now, and
yeah,
he's still getting talks about that when not putting up like huge offensive numbers. I mean, that says something about what kind of defenseman he really is.
Right. If he has that team to work with.
So, I mean, I think that's the best option. Honestly, I think he would be if going out of the team, you know, not re-signing somebody. I think he'll be the most affordable. I think that he's the best option that we got. I know the next guy that's on the list of rumors is that the Hawks are going to go after Dougie Hamilton, but I think I don't know if I was reading it somewhere or like it's what he was asking or what they're expecting, but it's starting at $8 million for cap hit per year. And then essentially after that, it's like, that's the starting bid and he's just going to go to the highest bidder.
Yeah. I don't want to overpay for Dougie Hamilton. Cause I don't know. Everything always tells me that he's just more of like an offensive defenseman guy.
In which we don't need that. Like,
no, I just would rather not. We need more of a Seth Jones type defenseman.
He, in 55 games, he put up 10 goals, 32 assists, 42 points. He was a plus 20, but he's also on Carolina, who was a beast of a team in the regular season.
Yeah.
He averaged 22 minutes and 43 seconds of ice time.
Also, I don't want to end up having like a Dougie Hamilton that's like demanded trades out of places already. Like you get him, you sign him to this deal, and then you like what? You gotta fucking move him in 2-3 years because he wants to fucking just like not play.
Dude, look at this. It's 3 years in Boston, 3 years in Calgary, 3 years in Carolina. If he doesn't resign in Carolina, he trips in threes. What are you gonna do? Sign him long term? Stan Bowman's gonna give him a no trade clause, so it's gonna be some stupid contract that we can't move.
Yeah,
like
that's how he's gonna. That's how he would entice everybody. Is just like a no movement, no trade, whatever to get the deal done.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great defense. I think he's a great player. If your team needs an offensive defenseman, I think he's a great option. I personally just don't think he's a fit for the Hawks.
Right. I'm on the same thing. Like, I just personally would rather have a Seth Jones over a Dougie Hamilton, especially long term, just because Seth Jones is only 26.
He'll be 27 when the season starts. If it starts on like the normal October or whatever, he'll be.
And Dougie Hamilton will be. He just turned 28.
Yeah, turned 28 on the 17th.
Ooh, I mean they're close enough in age; it doesn't really matter.
A year makes a difference.
Yeah,
But
I would personally would just rather have the guy that's been in Columbus like his whole career so far, and or now besides like his start in Nashville, rather than the guy that like decides he doesn't want to play for Boston anymore, and then the guy that Calgary decides he doesn't fit in Calgary, and like
was
I
it
don't know.
he didn't want Boston or Boston didn't want him?
I think he didn't want to stay in Boston.
Oh, because I could have swore I remember hearing a story too, like because I at the point it was like, is he a locker room cancer because
he
didn't work out in Boston, didn't work out in Calgary.
Yeah, Boston got a first in 2 seconds. Oh yeah, that's the 2015 draft. That's hilarious. Zach Senyshyn. I think their best pick was so they had a first, which was 15th overall, which is the guy that I think maybe making the team right now. They had a second in Jacob Forsbacka Carlson, who is not like doing anything. And then they had another second, which was 52nd overall, and that's Jeremy Lozon, who I think is probably the best player of all those three.
Oh, yeah.
Who's actually on like Boston right now. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, so
out of the two, give me Seth Jones.
Yeah, well,
if they're gonna be about the same asking price, or just like, I mean, contract. I don't know.
I think you can get Seth Jones. I don't think you get him more than 8. I don't think he signs for more than 8.
You don't think Seth Jones does?
Yeah.
I mean, give him that Seabrook contract.
Because what is he making right now? Like in the 5s, right?
5.4.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good that he had a down year.
And two, what kind of deal is he going to want? Like, is he going to want a long term? Is he going to do kind of like the pace? Like some of these players are signing 1-2 year deals to kind of like get through like the flat cap. Like what? That's like, I mean, that's the hardest thing too about this. It's like, yeah, on paper, grabbing Seth Jones makes sense, but what is he going to resign for? And with the flat cap, it's like there's just so many goddamn questions there. And I mean, another rumor going around since we're talking about defenseman Zadorov.
Yeah.
Is looking for what was it, 5.8 something?
Yeah, like close to 6.
I don't know if I would give him that.
No. No way. Absolutely not. Zadorov is like a defensive defenseman that, I mean, he's not great enough to be like a $6 million defenseman. And I think that the Hawks should just, like, I mean, they can trade his fucking like contract rights, his signing rights, and that's fine with me. Or they can just leave him up for grabs in the expansion draft. Like,
I think you 1000% expose him.
I just don't think around 6 million for, I don't even care how long. Like, I think he's more of like a $4 million defenseman.
Yeah, like 4.5 maybe.
It's crazy for how long he's already been in the league. Like, it makes sense that he wants to get paid that much.
411 games.
Yeah, and he's only 26.
That's insane.
He legit like had his first full season when he was like 20. Let's see, 26, 25, 24, 22, 21. Yeah, 20. When he was on Buffalo.
I really wish I knew like Corsi and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, get all the advanced stats pulled up.
Yeah.
Let's see. A lot of negatives here. I'm not sure, don't know what that means, but it doesn't look good when it's a negative.
It ain't golf, so I know that's not good.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't think he's earned the right to ask for that much. I mean,
I understand why he asked for that much.
100%. You mean
because he just made 3.2 the last like 2 years on 1-year deals. I think I mean, it's probably one of those situations that he's asking like 5.6 or whatever, 5.8, where he would probably like settle at like 4.8.
I'd be okay with that.
You know, like it's negotiation deal, like negotiation tactics. Like, The Hawks come in at 4. He comes in close to 6. And when, I mean, I think he's got arbitration rights. So like there could be an arbitration hearing. I just don't like personally see how like an arbitrator would maybe go more in his direction. Like, what are his comparables? You know, like big defensemen that have been in the league for 6 years but are 26. Like there's that, and then our RFAs. Like I don't think anyone's really comparable right now. Seth Jones. Seth Jones is like the only comparable, really. He's like 6'4". They're both like 6'4".
So here's the situation too with the Hawks. So Cap Friendly updated their site, so it's now like off-season mode. Right now, the Hawks are projected at like 6.2 million in cap space.
That's before all the LTIR stuff too. Sean Seabrook.
No, they're still on injured reserve.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Before the LTIR stuff comes off.
Yeah.
So there's 20. Well, right now because Taze is still on it, there's 21.275 left or on LTIR at the moment. But in reality, it's an extra like. Oh yeah, it's like an extra like 10 million, like 10.5 million.
So 10.5 million.
10.75 million actually.
So yeah, we'll say
which
that.
you know what.
Before you go there, because I'm gonna argue. You know what? Let's go there because that's part of my argument is the cap and all this kind of stuff.
You know, with 10.75 million in LTIR, the Hawks could really go after a player kind of like Jack Eichel.
You son of a bitch.
I mean, he's making only 10 million. And like, just saying.
Cool. So you have 700,000 to sign.
No. I'm saying that's on LTIR. We still have this 6 million.
Okay, so you still have 6 million, and you got to bring in. Suter needs a contract. Hagel needs a contract. Camp needs a contract. Gaudette needs a contract.
You don't need anybody if you have Eichel.
Oh, fuck off.
You don't need a single person.
You're starting to tip your hand a little bit. You're like,
I love it. Really okay, so you sign Hagel for sure. Like Hagel gets around 2 million.
You have to sign Suter. You have to sign Suter.
You don't. You really don't, actually. Like, if Taves comes back, I mean, if they move Doc, then that would suck. Then maybe sign Suter. Okay. We'll talk. I would look at a way to move Strome, like maybe even toss Strome in a deal for Eichel just to get some of that cap or take his cap away too. And then it would clearly be like at that point, like Strome, Doc, and a first. Like, and if they take it, cool. But I don't know if I would want to do more than that.
I'm not so like I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something. I just don't understand.
They can have Zadorov back too.
I don't understand like this whole Eichel appeal. I don't think he's as great as a as great of a player as people build him up to be.
He's better than Austin Matthews.
Okay, fair. I'll give you that. Just to see.
I was fucking kidding.
I'm over with that. I'm quoting that. I'm not putting any video contents on that. I'm just doing.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care. That's hilarious. Watch if you had Jack Eichel and you had Patrick Kane on the same line, they would shit on Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. Guarantee it. And you get to brink it out there with them. That's just not even fair. Greatest American-born line ever.
I still don't.
Greatest American-born line ever. How do you not want Jack Eichel? I'm sure, and like the asking price is probably not as high as you'd think because, like, he doesn't want to fucking be in Buffalo.
So right now, the report, it was like New York Post. I forgot what the author or the writer's name was. Basically said that the Blackhawks have entered in it. Kirby Doc, this year's 11th or the 11th overall pick, plus more is what they're gonna have to offer.
Yes.
I just don't understand. There are a couple things. I don't understand why you would give up on Doc that quick.
Well, here's the thing I want to point out right there. It's like you can give up Doc for Eichel, but then you can also be like, well, we have Kirby Doc. Like, I mean, he can even be Jack Eichel, but it's like, but you can already just get Eichel, like it's the same like Simpsons thing. Like, oh, you can have this boat, or you can have the mystery box, which is Doc. Or the mystery box could be anything. It could be even a boat. Like, or you could just get the guaranteed boat, which is Jack Eichel. Like,
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I get what we're saying with that, but at the same time, I think the way they are kind of building up Doc, what they invested into Doc, trying to build him up as like this next piece of this new core coming in, like the future core and all that. And right there too, it's like I go back to the cap. It's like Doc's not gonna, when Doc's contract comes up, he's still not gonna get a lot, not gonna demand a lot. Not 10 million. You're still gonna get that. So it's like, okay, well, again, devil's advocate kind of thing. It's like, hey, you can have Jack Eichel now, or you can have Jack Eichel and Kirby, what Kirby Doc could be. It's like, cool. Then if Kirby Doc turns into Jack Eichel, then you get Jack Eichel for less money than what you were paying actual Jack Eichel.
Yeah, but you also have the chance of not getting that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can guarantee getting Jack Eichel by actually going and getting him, rather than hopefully getting a player like him.
No,
that's all. I don't personally want to trade away Kirby Doc, but if they do trade away Kirby Doc and the return is Jack Eichel, I am fine with it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's to the cap, man. The reports cap's not going to go up to the 24-25 season.
Right. Do you know who is the longest? You know whose deal is the longest on the Hawks right now? That like actually plays for them?
Keith.
No, like currently, like who has the most years left? It's Riley Stillman.
Really?
His new 3-year deal. He's the only one that has a contract 3 years from now on the Hawks.
Well, for now.
Right. But I'm saying is like cap trouble would be maybe this year, maybe next year. But then you have basically a clean slate, unless you already besides like making deals for whatever these next 2 years. But at the current cap right now, and our current team, you have Jack Eichel. The only 2 players you are kind of guaranteed if you don't make moves in 3 years to have are Jack Eichel and Riley Stillman. And that's not like a cap issue at this point. That's just,
okay,
I think.
But cap issue now is a big thing too. And then it's going to come down to, do we want Jack Eichel? Do we want Seth Jones? And the team needs Seth Jones.
Jack Eichel.
The team doesn't
Jack Eichel. They need
the team doesn't need Jack Eichel.
I'm telling you, we got to go full Toronto. Just straight up 3 offensive players making over $10 million. Just full on Toronto, bitch. Like, let's go. We don't even need rookies from Europe. At this point, we sign veterans for fucking next to nothing that go, I've been waiting my whole career to play in Chicago. Here's a picture of me as a kid with Chicago bed sheets. And it's just
well, that guy got 11 million. So
yeah, I know, but you still get you can get like a Jason Spezza type in, I don't know, Vinny Hinstro's is not old enough, but he can be a Chicago.
It's cool. I always wanted to play in the playoffs, but I didn't want to go really that far into the summer. So the first round is just good enough. So yeah, I came to Chicago because, Toronto and Chicago are going to be, Noli's going to have a goddamn heart attack if Chicago and Toronto just continue to make the playoffs and they lose in the first round, both of them.
How great would it be though if we had Jack Eichel, we made it to the Stanley Cup Finals against Toronto, and it was Eichel versus Matthews. Ooh, that'd be so sick. Because we know Buffalo's not going to make it no matter what they do if they have Eichel for the rest of his contract.
No, they're talking about blowing it up. They're talking about moving. Like, his price is a second and third, and I saw that. I was like,
That's it. Well, that's why I'm surprised that you don't see, because Columbus is a part of the Jack Eichel sweepstakes, and
pretty much everybody in the top 10 it's set for Seattle and Buffalo.
Yeah, and I think what makes sense would be something like Columbus giving Line and Seth Jones to Buffalo for Eichel and Ristolainen. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And I don't even know, like maybe Columbus has to sweeten the pot a little bit just because it's Eichel, but they're also taking on Ristolainen. Like Ristolainen is kind of like one that negatively impacts that deal.
Yeah.
Because
I just don't
Jack
know.
Eichel's trade value is like way up here, and then you add Ristolainen, and then it brings the trade value down. It doesn't add to it. Like
I just don't know if Buffalo would do that, just because I think
right.
if they're moving all these guys, I think they're going full blow it up and start fresh. I don't think they're going to want to bring in guys unless they're going to try to Taylor Hall it and just flip them at the deadline or something. But if you bring them on and you're blowing your team up, you're just hurting their trade value at the deadline.
I mean, honestly, Buffalo really just needs to kind of just take on shitty contracts and getting as many shitty players as they can just to get as many draft picks as possible, because they're stuck. They're stuck for the next 6 years with Jeff Skinner. Like that's a huge contract that you have to deal with for 6 years that no one is going to take off your hands.
Buffalo has $34 million in cap space right now.
That's pretty crazy.
Detroit has 48. New Jersey's got 37. Most cap space, Seattle Kraken with 81.5 million.
How do they do it? Don't they have somebody signed?
Yeah.
Is he not on the official roster? He's in the minors. He's non-rostered still.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Can't
even crack the lineup when there's no lineup to crack.
Yeah. You can't even just put him on there to make the kid feel good.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the videos of him just playing soccer by himself or whatever pregame.
Is there any concern though too with Jack Eichel with his whole neck injury? Like there's a whole like controversy with that too, is that like he wants surgery. The Buffalo training staff is saying that the best bet would be to do therapy and then kind of attack it that way. There are multiple like medical staffs that kind of like know what's going on with him that have said like, yeah, that surgery would probably be the mistake to go, the wrong route to go. I mean, is there any concern about that? You know, bringing him on if his injury is like to a point where it's surgery, or if they need to do therapy to assess what he really needs. Is that any concern there about making a move for him?
I don't know. I'd say maybe do like some conditionals in the trade at that point. Then like he'd have to play a certain amount of games like this season. Otherwise, like they don't get something else. I don't know. It would have to involve like picks next year, really.
It's a lot.
Or like we would get like a first next year if he doesn't play over like 50 games this year or some shit.
If they throw in Yoki Haru in the deal, I'd be okay.
No, fuck that. No, I don't want that. So give us the first overall. We'll take Owen Power. We'll take Jack Eichel. I mean,
anyways,
I'm curious to see what if it happens. Like, I hope it's not an overpayment, because nobody should be overpaying Buffalo for anything.
Nobody should be overpaying anything right now in general. Like,
well, I'm saying in trade.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
give him the 11th. Give him Doc and give him like Zadorov. Like, make that offer, and if they say no, just be like, okay, cool, then we're fine. Like, I'd rather just go after like a Seth Jones and fill a need rather than go after Eichel and be like, we have the sickest fucking line in the league.
I love that I pulled up Twitter to look for something for one of the next things we're going to talk about. And the first thing is the acquisition and annual cost of Jack Eichel should take the Hawks out of his sweepstakes.
Okay. No.
It's crazy. Like, it blows my mind that it's this much of a conversation. Like, and that's kind of insane. And it goes back to kind of like we kind of talked about this in our group chat. The whole last year, Bowman was on this media tour about he's not going to jeopardize the future. You know, like wants to build up these young guys and all that kind of stuff and build within and all that. And not even a full year yet. And he's ready to move, like, you know, rumored ready to move on a first round pick, a I still think a very high end future talent. Like it's hilarious.
It's for a franchise player though. Like those don't just go on the market like once a year or anything like that. Like this is once every few years a franchise player's just like fuck get me out of here. And I mean like I'm glad that they're kicking the tires on it, you know, like seeing what the deal could be. Because like, what if it ends up being something super reasonable, and they're like, yeah, we'll fucking pull that trade like right away, and Buffalo's like, haha, we got him, and we're like, what are they, idiots? Like, sounds good.
I still think Buffalo has to eat a little bit of that.
They're not going to
I know,
retain salary for 6 years.
I don't like man. I'm not sold like you are. Like the idea on paper of what Eichel was supposed to be and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it's great. But I don't think he's that. I think he's overhyped. I think
What if we do a 3-way trade with Buffalo and Toronto, and we get Jack Eichel to Toronto, and we get Austin Matthews to Chicago, and then Buffalo can still have Kirby Doc in a first, and then we can still have the greatest American-born line ever.
I take Matthews. Yeah, I'd be okay with that one. Totally.
Well, the problem is that he doesn't show up in the playoffs, and then you're just screwed. It's just
right.
You don't even know if Eichel shows up in the playoffs or not. His team hasn't made it there yet. Watch him be like the greatest fucking playoff performer of all time.
You invest your entire salary cap into 3 players. Of course, you're not going to make the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter if he doesn't show up in the playoffs.
I mean, we can do it. We can full Toronto this. I think that's what we should do is full Toronto.
All right. So I got a little trivia question for you that came from Second City Hockey. They tweeted this out. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it kind of goes about like.
No, I deleted Twitter, so I don't see anything. Yeah.
So okay, so it's basically kind of goes hand in hand with like, you know, growing homegrown talent and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Among D-men drafted by the Blackhawks since 2006, Adam Boqvist has played the most regular season games at 76. Can you name the second one?
Wait, what? From defensemen?
Yeah, defensemen that were drafted by the Hawks since 2006.
Yeah.
Boqvist has played the most regular season games.
With 76.
With 76.
Okay.
Name number 2.
Dylan Olsen.
No.
Okay, that was close though, I think. I think that was close. Okay, so drafted defenseman that we had since 2006 who played the second most games. Are they on the team right now? I'm assuming not, right?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they're in the system at least. Like,
they're in the system.
Well, they play either Rockford or the Hawks. Rockford or the Hawks. Like,
what the fuck? Oh God. I'm gonna look at the roster. What? What? Rockford and the Hawks. Are they? Oh, is it TJ? No, TJ Brennan wasn't drafted by us. I don't know.
Olsen was not as close as you think.
Second most game. Who is it?
You give up?
I don't want to, but I don't know who it would be because are they in Rockford?
Let me look at Rockford.
Because I'm looking at Cap Friendly, and like all of our defensemen in Rockford are like less than 23 years old, besides Anton Lindholm, who hasn't made it to the show yet. And they're on the Hawks still.
You know, he might not be on the Hawks anymore.
Oh, see? Okay. Damn. All right. I don't know.
Well, now I gotta find out.
You know what team he's on? Because I could probably guess that
right now.
It's not Dylan Olsen. Oh man.
Dylan Olsen only played 29 games.
Gustav Forsling wasn't our draft pick either. who else was young that we just kind of gave
And
up on?
all this whole segment right here is really based on that Second City Hockey did their research and verify that this, because I'm just going based off of their account.
Oh, like if it's wrong, it's their fault?
Yeah.
All right, do you know what team they're on?
I'm looking up right now.
Fine, I'll just look up trade history of the Blackhawks. All right, let's see. I don't see anyone
For Vegas right now.
playing for Vegas. Ooh, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Who is it?
Carl Dahlstrom.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Yeah, okay.
You want to guess
Yep.
how many games?
He played with the Hawks?
Yeah.
46.
49.
That was close.
So since 2006,
Yeah,
this is the most with 76,
yeah,
and Dahlstrom is second with 49.
right. And how many first round picks do we have on our team since 2008? 2, 3, and it's Boqvist, Doc, and Bowden.
Since 2008,
Yeah.
Kane.
Well, I meant like since Kane.
Oh, okay.
Also, Kane was 2007.
Okay, fair.
Kyle Beach was 2008.
Don't say that name.
Yeah, it's like we have none of our first rounders, and like I don't know, it's hilarious.
It's just
We
that,
draft them and get rid of them.
that's a problem. That's kind of like a problem, and it's like, look at that, and it's like we draft them, we get rid of them, and
Well, we didn't even get rid of Carl Dahlstrom. Actually, he just went through waivers, and Winnipeg fucking stole him.
yeah, but like we lose these guys, and we don't, either get anything worth it back for them, or they just, like, I don't know. It's just our defense is so bad. Not so bad, but it's like it's such a major issue, and it's kind of insane.
Yeah, like they're not growing defensemen.
Yeah, which is why if they don't land Eichel or Jones,
Right.
near those trades happen, I think they hold it and they grab a defenseman that they can grow.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, that's what we've been drafting recently is just defense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, besides Lucas Reichel, who we'll see coming up this year, possibly. But that's what they should be doing. I mean, put all your chips into defense because, like, we have a lot of really good, like, offensive prospects. I mean, if we, like you said, like, if we don't get one of those guys, like, we are keeping Kirby Doc, we're keeping, like, DeBrincat, we're going to be building with Kubalik, we're going to be working with Suter still, and we got Hagel, and it's just like these guys are all really young forwards. You can fill in a bottom six pretty easily with like veteran guys and guys that are like looking to like prove themselves. Like that's fine, but what you need is to build up defensemen from within your system. Otherwise, you're going to always overpay for defensemen.
Yeah.
And what do? We overpaid, I think, for Zadorov. We paid up, like we gave him Saad. Like we just give up Saad for fucking peanuts all the time. It's just, I don't know, like, and then, or you're gonna have to overpay for Seth Jones, or you're gonna have to overpay for Dougie Hamilton. It's like, it's gonna come at the cost of either assets or cap space. And if you work defensemen up from within, you're able to determine all of your cap space and keep your assets, and it's great. And that's not how it works. That's not how the Hawks have been working since 2010 because they've been getting rid of all of their defensive prospects at every trade deadline.
For win now mode. I
Yeah.
mean, 3 cups, and you can't argue that and all that.
I wish they were in more win now mode though. You know, like how Pittsburgh kept their cup window open for even longer than the Hawks did because they just kept getting rid of every prospect that they fucking had because they were getting rid of first prospects. Does not matter. Crosby and Malkin are still on the team. We don't give a shit about the future right now. Like everything can happen at this moment. And they had teams just keep fucking salary cap from all these guys, and they got so much help. Like fucking getting Phil Kessel for like $6 million or whatever, like less money. Like it was just, I wish we would have gone that route.
Pittsburgh is still competitive. Like
Yeah,
haven't done a lot in the playoffs the last couple of years, but they fucking won their division this year.
right.
Like
It's been consistent since like 2007. They've always been in the playoffs, and they're always dangerous.
And I'm all for going all in and trying to win because you don't want to waste. I hate the fact that they're wasting so many good years of Kane, and would have been another. I mean, Taves too. I mean, yeah, he didn't play this year, but when he comes back, he's still going to be. I mean, it might be a little bit for him to get going again, but he's still our franchise center. He's still our guy, and we're wasting these guys' final years of their contract with us. And it's like, okay, if we keep going this route or we're not winning, we're not competitive and all that kind of stuff, we're going to lose them.
Yeah.
Kane, I don't think if anybody is going to jump, I think Kane is going to, the competitive nature of Kane is that if the Hawks are not in a winning situation by the time his contract ends in 2-3 years,
2 years,
he's gone.
And, hope not.
And we're going to lose one of arguably the greatest right now, the number 2, but arguably what will be the greatest player in this franchise history.
Yeah. And I mean, I was going to say this before when we were talking about the salaries of players, 3 years from now, there's nobody, but I mean, technically Kaner can make more money on his next contract because he's that fucking good.
The way he's going, we talked about his numbers at this point, you start seeing a dip. He's going up. He's still still heading on up. He still hasn't hit that peak.
I mean, that's literally been the most value out of any contract that would seem like an overpay because he only got better as the contract grew older, and it's crazy. That's what you see with 22-year-olds, not fucking a 26, 27-year-old.
That the contract that him and Taves signed is seen as an overpay then, and for Kane now, it is so under. It is such a cheap deal for us. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Way to go, Bowman.
Yeah.
Big brain moves.
So I guess all that wrap that's all up with that is if they can find a way to bring in an Eichel where it's not going to fuck this team's future.
Toronto.
It's going to be awesome for the next year, 2, 3 years. But if it's going to end up costing this team in the long run, I mean, they say it most. I forgot who I was talking to or where I was listening to this. These guys are only on this team until the contract's up.
Right.
We're the ones that live with this team no matter what. We're the most consistent. The fans are the most consistent here. Not everybody, but
we're here from 3 years from now. We're under contract.
Yeah, we are we are invested so much in this, and
it's us and Stillman.
Yeah. So they need to they really need to pay attention to the future. And Bowman, what he said last year at his press junket about talking about taking this team in the future, how the direction is going to go. If it was a great plan, it was a great strategy. And I knew that if they showed any sort of success this year, that was all going out the window. I knew it. And here we are. It's not even a full year since Bowman went on his media tour with that. And it's already okay, let's trade a first round pick. Let's trade a top 3 player that we drafted. Let's do this, and this. It's we said, was it said in the group chat? Billy was wait, Bowman lied about something that he was going to do.
Oh, it was because I sent an old video that I found on my computer of I forgot if it was the Quest for the Cup or something like that, but it was one of those HBO things, and it showed Panarin, and it was just when he first was on the Hawks, and Bowman's yeah, we really love Panarin. We're gonna do everything we can to ensure that he's a longtime Blackhawk. And I was yes, Stan, good call, let's go, baby. And then it's motherfucker lied to everybody.
You stupid idiot.
Yeah, it's oh, he only signed a 2-year deal. I was saying that in the clip. I was yeah, I hope he stays longer than that 2-year deal that he signed. Fucking nope.
See ya.
See you later, Redman.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next thing. I think that's it for Hawks talk.
Yeah, that's all we got.
I'm sure there will be more coming out in the next week.
I mean,
we're getting close to the season, end of the season, or the playoffs are ending.
It's gonna be within 24 hours. They'll announce the trade. It's gonna be 24-hour watch of off-season things.
It's gonna be, yeah. And
hearing talks about Eichel heating up. We should know more within 24 hours. And it's okay, we'll keep waiting.
By the time we trade or we record nets, Eichel could be traded because they were saying it's not a week's thing; it's potentially a day's thing. So
24 hours. And when you hear that, that's when you know.
Yeah. So, all right. So we are going to transition to something a little bit new. We're going to start doing top fives, a little top five draft. Do we want to do top five or we want to do top three? What do you want to do?
Top three.
Top threes. All right. Top threes. So yeah, basically everything we're going to do, pick different topics. We're each going to draft our top threes. Well, you want to snake draft it or just straight up draft?
Snake drafted.
Snake draft. All right.
I don't even know what we're doing.
So the first topic was presented to us by our boss of the Hockey Podcast Network, Dylan, who is also a part of the Stick Hungry podcast that cover the Chicago Blackhawks. No, they cover the San Jose Sharks. He suggested the first topic we do is top flows.
Oh, okay.
So
that's right. We did mention this slightly. So now I gotta like look stuff up.
So do you want to go?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go first to make it easy.
All right, who are you taking?
Well, Yager.
Yager, I knew that.
Yeah. See, now I got to write it down just in case. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to remember anything, but it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Absolute icon and everything that he does, and the mullet is just legendary.
Yeah. Now I gotta. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Your turn. Go for it.
All right. I am going Tony Monte with the frosted tips.
With the in parentheses with the frosted tips. Yeah, if we did top five, man, I don't know. It would be coming like Phil Kessel.
Mark Stone.
Oh yeah, Mark Stone. That's a good one too.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta go with the EK65.
EK65.
Yeah, baby. That's sexy Swedish motherfucker. Actually, you know what? Fuck Eichel, fucking Dougie Hamilton, fuck Seth Jones. Give me fucking Erik Karlsson. It's gonna be the best.
See, like you say shit like that, I just don't like. If you're
serious, give me Erik Karlsson.
All right,
it would be amazing. Him and Boqvist together.
All right, I'm going Jack O'Callahan, the actor from Mirror.
OC. Okay. Fuck, man. I don't know. Every kid in the Minnesota State high school tournament. Like that's always a thing. Jeez, I'm just like looking through. Like Barry Melrose is a good one. I also kind of want to just choose some goofy ass. I don't know.
Oh, I got a goofy ass one. I think I'm gonna go for number 3. I was gonna say if we did 5, this is my 5th pick because I knew I was gonna be struggling for one, but I think I have to do it just to do it.
I'd just go with Kaner's playoff mullet.
Your playoff mullet.
Kaner playoff mullet. It's just a super homer pick for number 3.
All right, I am going our good buddy Andrew Petzinger with his little afro that he had when he was growing up playing hockey.
Oh God. Okay.
So
great.
You're gonna love that one. So yeah,
way to go.
We're gonna start doing those. Maybe when there's less stuff to talk about, we'll do top 5s. But yeah, if you got any suggestions for topics, send them in. DM us, message us, whatever. Doesn't have to be hockey related too. Could be anything. I think
top 3 hockey players you think you could take in a fight.
Oh God, did you see the Matthew Barnaby and Sean Avery thing?
Oh no.
Matthew Barnaby was saying that he wants Sean Avery at Barstool's Rough and Rowdy.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That would be a good one. Oh, because boxing is so like that whole boxing phase right now is like it's already getting old, but
it's fucking lame. I don't know how to understand how it's always on pay-per-view. It draws a lot of money for the boxers, and it's terrible. It's awful. Like it's never like exciting. It's always just to like make money for the fighters, and they know it. Like it's 2 people that people want to see fight, and a lot of people don't fucking like.
Yeah, and then it's like just a hug fest. Like that's
they want to see the other person get their ass kicked, and then nobody fucking does anything.
Yeah. So, All right, moving on. We're going a little bit long, but we got to touch on this because this is like Tanner's all-time favorite thing. And
Yeah, dude.
ever. It is today marks the 18th anniversary of the 2003 draft class.
Yes.
And Tanner has the biggest boner for this
You
draft.
wanna know how many players have played over 1,000 games in this draft
I
class?
knew you were gonna have some sort of stats like ready for this. Like
15 guys. I think I counted that right. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15 guys. You know who has the most games played in this draft class?
Who?
Eric Stahl. You want to take a wild guess at who has the second most games played?
Shea Weber.
No, take another one. It's really funny.
Am I not gonna get it?
I don't think so.
Okay, who is it?
Dustin Brown.
The potato himself.
Fucking Dustin Brown. What is happening? I'm trying to sort by games played. There we go. Okay. Let's see what other cool things. Let's see. Out of those 15 players that have played over 1,000 games. Oh no. Oh, okay. That wasn't. I thought I lost my connection to you because something else popped up, but it was just like you lost your connection. I was like, oh shit, sorry. But out of those players that have played 1,000 games, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them are still in the league. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Insane.
So only four haven't played, and one is Seabrook, who was done last year. Another was Dion Phaneuf, Thomas Vanek, and Ryan Kessler.
It's insane too to know that like these are names we're gonna start hearing retire.
Yeah.
I feel so fucking old that like these guys like growing up, like looking up towards like oh man, and now they're gonna be done. Have you heard the Ovechkin story from this draft?
Oh yeah, it's Florida. Tried to draft. Yeah. Do you want to tell it, or do you want me to just go off of memory?
Got it. So during the 03 draft, Florida Panthers GM Rick Dudley attempted to draft Ovechkin, despite him being past the cutoff date. He argued that if leap years were taken into account, he would have turned 18 4 days before his actual birthday. This was rejected by the NHL 4 times. They petitioned this 4 times.
That's amazing.
You almost got to give it to him at that point. Like, you know what?
Yeah, right.
Ovechkin's got to go sign in Florida now.
Like, this draft is so stacked. Let's see. How many guys in the later rounds ended up playing? Like, in the 6th round, you have Nate Thompson from Boston playing 811 games. And then also Drew Miller getting drafted in Anaheim playing 571. Joe Pavelski, 7th round, 1,086 games.
And now we lost you.
It's like my computer is just like, you've been doing this for too long. I don't even know the last thing you heard. But I was going into the later rounds to tell you, like, how many players played a lot of games. And it was like Joe Pavelski in the 7th round played 1,086. Kyle Brodziak in the 7th round played 917. In the 8th round, where they still had 8 rounds, Tobias Enstrom played 719. Bufflin played 869. Even the 9th round, Matt Molson, 650. Tanner Glass, 527. Yaroslav Halak, 539. And then there's still like 4 or 5 other guys that have played over 100 games. Troy Bodie, 159. Chris Porter, 234. Nick Tarnasky, 245. David Jones, 462. And then the second to last pick of that draft, Brian Elliott, 502 games. Pick number 291. That's insane.
Wasn't Bissonnette drafting this year too? Like,
who?
Paul Bissonnette.
Oh, he might have been. I forgot. He was like a 2nd or 3rd rounder, I think.
That's
or I don't know. Who cares? I have no idea.
All.
And do a little control find action here. Yeah, 4th round, 121, 202 games.
Yeah, so anniversary. I'm sure we always say we're gonna get like an episode just to talk about this. So we'll tease it again. One of these days we'll convince Nolan to come on so you two can just go all out. And
God, imagine being the New York Rangers drafting 12th overall and picking Hugh Jessamine, who played 2 fucking games in the NHL, and everybody else is making their way to the Hall of Fame.
Dustin Brown's behind him, Brent Seabrook's behind him.
Yep.
Rise, Getzlaff, Brett Burns, Kessler. Oh my god. All right, let's move on to
Love it.
Really quick.
Love to see it.
So at the story of the playoffs right now, the refs.
Yeah, what's the deal here? I honestly haven't been able to watch the games because I've been busy with work and all sorts of other things. And then I just see I see edits of the refs wearing gold helmets and gold jerseys.
If it's really like, I know it's not the case, but it really feels like they're trying to force a Vegas Tampa final. It's
they want the 2 best teams on paper to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Wow. So hard to believe.
And the fact that Montreal, like, there's just little misplays here and there. Like, you saw Perry get the high stick.
Mm-hmm.
Stitches like his entire like nose, like left side of his face, and his entire nose is all stitched up. No call on that. Then he had like a player on, I forgot who it was, but in the Vegas Montreal, the last game they played, player in Vegas straight up just punches a guy in Montreal right in the face, and the ref's looking at him.
He's 5 feet away from him.
Yeah, like staring at him and nothing. It's just
turns his head.
I understand like the rule book, it's shortened and they can only let the boys play in playoffs, but it's like, oh my god. And then Barzell got 5 minutes and injected yesterday for a cross check that looked just like, like after
hands up. It was just like hands up,
Yeah, I don't understand. Like,
also, I mean, Islanders didn't do themselves any favors. They got their ass beat.
8-0. They lost.
I was at the Cubs game and I kept checking the score and I was like, is this thing fucking broken? Like, it was just 1-0. Now it's 4-0. Oh, it's 7-0. Okay, now it's 8-0. What the fuck is going on? Is this playoff hockey?
It's just kind of an embarrassment for the league a little bit that it's like your officials, the guys that are supposed to, keep the game under control and manage all that, are fucking up so much. And
yeah, it's rough.
It's the officiating and what the fuck's goaltender interference. Like, those are the 2 major issues with hockey.
Just let me call goaltender interference. Like, I can figure it out very easily. Like, I'll just be the one. It'll be okay.
They looked at the goalie weird, goaltender interference, because relevant.
The Hawks will never have a goal scored against them the entire season. I'll tell you that. It's just like, oh, we got a call from Chicago. Taylor, the official goaltender interference judge. He stated that the open shot from the blue line was offside. It's actually, he's calling offsides now. He's not even calling goal interference on this one.
Well, then talking about goalies, a little goalie controversy going on in Vegas. Marc-Andre fucked up a little, dumping, try to control the puck.
He's got playoff nerves.
Yeah, scoops up right in front of the net, and Josh Anderson score that too, right? He put that away.
I think he did.
I think he tied it, and then he won it. They ended up winning in overtime with the overtime goal. Fucking filthy.
Yeah, knocking the puck out of the air right there, and then just kind of skating away, just being like, all right, you take it, and then it's just a perfect dish on a 2-on-0 in playoff overtime.
Yeah. Whoa. Then after that game, they played Lehner, who said that he showed up to the ring 4 hours early so he can read all the tweets of people talking shit about him and how he shouldn't be starting that game. And where is
Marc-Andre Fleury's agent with the fucking drawing of the sword through the back? I want it.
So they started him. They end up winning that game in overtime 2-1. And then as far as I know, as of this recording, Fleury's back in net tonight.
Oh yeah.
So
there was a clip that was online of Fleury in practice, and he had played the puck behind the net, got the pass off, and then he raised his arms. He's like, I can do it.
I think that you see the edit photos, like, oh, so nice of Marc-Andre to celebrate his assist, game time assist, because it was like the way they cut it was like all the Montreal guys hands up, and it was like when he was about to like slam his hands down after it was caught right as his hands were up in the air.
We did it, boys.
Yeah. So that series is tied 2-2. 2 more wins for Montreal than I thought. I thought this series was going to be done. Good on them. We'll see. Hopefully they can take the lead today. So at least we'll get game 7. Cause I think if Montreal wins today, Vegas is coming back game 6, winning that one.
Yeah. I think that's going to be like basically a Tampa game that they just had. Like Vegas will come out and score like fucking 12 for some reason.
If if Vegas wins tonight, this series is over.
I don't know. They're going to be back in Montreal for game 6.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I do think that Montreal wins this game tonight.
I hope so. I really do.
I mean, Carey Price is just unbelievable. He's playing out his mind. Like his save percentage is above .930. And that's Dominik Hasek level shit, man. Like,
apparently,
I say great. Like Dominik Hasek's greatest goalie of all time, and that's fucking up there. Like that's good shit.
The big question was, can Carey Price steal another playoff series? And he's working on it.
He's got his little black face mask on. He's got his black and white striped shirt and his pants. He's got his like thieving gloves. He's stealing like everything. He's got the Pink Panther tune playing in the background of his head the whole time. It's fucking good.
Oh man. And then so yeah, we talked about Tampa. They're up 3-2 after just shit kicking the Islanders.
Islanders didn't know they had a game that day.
There's a video of a Islanders fan, like it's up in the corner, and you just see him like take off his jersey, throw it down on the ground, and just stomp up the stands to go back like to the concourse. It was so funny.
I feel like that's such a fucking Islanders thing to do.
Yeah.
Like an Islanders fan thing to do.
So game 6 is like actually the last game at the Coliseum for them too.
I mean, unless they make it to the fucking finals. Can you imagine if they won the Stanley Cup in the Coliseum and then it collapsed because of the noise that was going on?
Oh no.
Just like, oh my God. A storybook ending. Not like a good storybook ending, but like that's what it would be.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, I think about does it. Anything else you want to talk about?
Do you want to talk about Carl Nassib?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Carl Nassib.
Yeah, NASSIB.
He plays, I think, defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders. And yesterday he came out as gay. So he is the first active NFL player to come out.
Well, just like professional, right? I don't know if there's any other.
In the major 4, at least, yeah. I don't know if there's like a soccer or something like that, but yeah, in the major 4, he's like the first one. And
yeah,
I think it's really cool. Like it's to the point, like I know he even said it in his like little video. I watched that and he's saying he's like, hopefully we'll get like this should get to a point where this isn't even
newsworthy.
Yeah, newsworthy or worth a post and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You finally see like a major 4 sport athlete come out and maybe it starts giving the confidence for whoever, because I mean there's players in all leagues that are they're afraid to do it and be themselves because of everything. And
do you imagine like the shit talk that some players are going to try and throw at him too? Like just I'm sure he's already probably imagined it all, and he's going to probably just watch him have an unreal fucking season because of all the shit talk that's going to be thrown at him. Like he's going to murder people or some shit like that. Like it'd be crazy.
I don't follow football as much. I don't know what kind of, if he is a good player or like what, if he's like, but he's talking about how his team is known, his team's been supportive and all that kind of stuff. So it's, it's good. I mean, and he said he wasn't doing it for attention. He doesn't need the attention, all that kind of stuff, but he does realize that this kind of stuff needs to be normalized and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't doing good by him staying quiet and all that. So, I mean, good for him. Glad he's donating $100,000 to, I forgot,
the Trevor Project,
which helps with suicide prevention for the LGBTQ plus youth. Yeah. So, I mean, that's amazing. I think that's fantastic.
That's what that's what athletes should be doing, is like supporting those kinds of things, because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of kids out there that want to play sports that are like LGBTQ plus and like afraid to go do it because They don't want to get harassed by like the classic jock fucking like mentality people. And it's just, I don't know. Like,
it was great.
Come on.
It was great too, reading the comments and stuff on it. Like anytime somebody were to like come out like, oh, the locker room's going to be awkward now, like stupid shit like that. The amount of people that would come out and just be like, dude, you need to grow up kind of thing. It's like, it's really cool to see that. I think as a society, we are growing up and realizing, dude, just let people be who they want to be. Who gives a shit? Like, it doesn't.
He's got probably better dick jokes than anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah, good on you, Carl. And yeah, we'll see what the domino effect of that is if we're gonna start hearing more of that soon. But yeah, that was episode 141. What do you want to call it?
Going full Toronto. All caps. Fucking going full Toronto.
All right. So make sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, anywhere you listen to your podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at WCBP Podcast. Follow our network, the Hockey Podcast Network. Use DraftKings promo code THPN. 5-star reviews. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, but make sure it's a 5-star. We're back to number 2 in Vietnam, up to
boy.
We're up to 108 in Finland. So let's go. Start.
Hey.
Yeah. So let's
Guten Tag.
Let's get the numbers up. And yeah, we'll see on the next one, probably for Jack Eichel watch. So
let's go. 24 hours. Put it on your calendar right now. All right. Love you, boys. Bye.